The mountain roads of Japan shimmered with an eerie, almost unnatural glow in the spring of 2003. White sheets draped over trees, cars, and tents, transforming the lush greenery into a ghostly expanse of fabric. Amid this surreal tableau moved a group clad entirely in white, their faces shielded by surgical masks. This was Pana Wave Laboratory, a mysterious cult that had become a national obsession. To the outside world, they were a bizarre curiosity. To themselves, they were warriors in a desperate battle against an invisible, omnipresent enemy, electromagnetic waves. But beneath the fabric and fear lay a story far deeper, a labyrinth of belief, isolation, and human vulnerability. How does a group of seemingly ordinary individuals become so consumed by paranoia that they retreat from the modern world altogether? What was it about Pana Wave's message that compelled such devotion? And could any of us, under the right circumstances, find ourselves swept into a similar narrative? Pana Wave Laboratory was born in the mind of Yuko Chino, a woman whose own struggles seemed to mirror the fears she instilled in her followers. Chino, frail and chronically ill, believed her suffering was caused by electromagnetic waves emitted by modern technology, a byproduct of humanity's reckless progress. In her worldview, these waves were not just harmful, but apocalyptic, heralding the end of days. To shield herself and her followers, Chino devised an elaborate system of protection: white clothing to deflect the waves, white sheets to purify their surroundings, and a nomadic lifestyle to avoid prolonged exposure. But Pana Wave's philosophy went beyond electromagnetic paranoia. Chino wove together strands of pseudoscience, environmentalism, and esoteric prophecy, claiming that Earth's fate hung in the balance. A mysterious celestial body, she warned, was on a collision course with our planet, and only those who adhered to her strict guidelines could hope to survive. It was a heady mix of fear and salvation, a narrative designed to exploit primal human anxieties while offering a sense of purpose and control. Why do such apocalyptic beliefs resonate with certain people? Is it the promise of order in a chaotic world, or is it the allure of belonging to a group that claims to hold the key to humanity's survival? The Pana Wave community became a haven for individuals seeking answers, connection, or simply a reprieve from the uncertainties of modern life. Many were intelligent and educated, defying the stereotype of gullible cult followers. Yet, intelligence is no shield against existential fear or the psychological mechanisms of manipulation. In the insular world of Pana Wave, Chino's authority was absolute, her warnings a drumbeat of urgency that left no room for doubt or dissent. As the group's practices grew more extreme, their isolation deepened. Members abandoned their jobs, families, and identities, immersing themselves entirely in Chino's doctrine. They traveled in convoys of white vans, their every movement dictated by her ever-evolving instructions. This nomadic existence reinforced their separation from society, creating an echo chamber where Chino's ideas became the only reality. Was this isolation a necessary means of self-protection, as Chino claimed, or a calculated strategy to consolidate her control? And what does it say about the human psyche that such separation can so easily warp perception and amplify fear? Pana Wave remained largely unnoticed until 2003, when their bizarre appearance and alarming predictions caught the media's attention. Journalists swarmed their encampments, cameras capturing the strange tableau of white-clad figures and fabric-draped landscapes. The group's rhetoric intensified, with Chino warning that an imminent disaster would strike if their movements were hindered. For a time, their every action became a national spectacle, feeding a cycle of fear and fascination. Yet, as the media frenzy grew, so did public skepticism. Experts dismissed Chino's claims as pseudoscience, and authorities began to scrutinize the group's activities. Pana Wave's veneer of mystique crumbled, exposing the contradictions and vulnerabilities beneath. Chino's predictions failed to materialize, and her health continued to deteriorate, undermining her image as a prophet. But even as the group faded from prominence, their story left a lingering unease. Pana Wave was not the first cult to blend apocalyptic prophecy with scientific jargon, nor would it be the last. Their narrative echoed the fears and hopes that have driven countless movements throughout history, the fear of a world spiraling out of control, and the hope that someone, somewhere, has the answers. How many of us, faced with uncertainty and isolation, might be drawn to such a narrative? How often do we seek out simple solutions to complex problems, or gravitate toward leaders who promise to make sense of the senseless? The psychological dynamics at play in Pana Wave are both timeless and disturbingly universal. Chino's teachings exploited cognitive biases that make humans susceptible to persuasion. Our tendency to see patterns in randomness, to seek certainty in uncertainty, and to follow authority figures who exude confidence. In the closed environment of the group, these tendencies were magnified, creating a feedback loop of belief and reinforcement. Yet, it would be a mistake to view Pana Wave's followers as mere victims. Many were active participants, choosing to embrace a worldview that offered them identity and purpose. Their story is a reminder that belief is a powerful force, capable of shaping reality in profound and often unsettling ways. As the years passed, Pana Wave faded into obscurity, its members disbanding and its once feverish warnings consigned to history. But their white-draped convoys and apocalyptic rhetoric remain a haunting symbol of how easily fear and isolation can spiral into delusion. Their story is a cautionary tale for a world still grappling with the consequences of misinformation, charismatic leadership, and the human longing for certainty in an uncertain world. When we look back on the white-shrouded hillsides and hear the echoes of Chino's prophecies, we must ask ourselves, what is it that we fear most? And how far would we go to escape it? The answers, as always, lie not in the fabric of the sheets, but in the labyrinth of the mind. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more videos like these.